before you ask, I feel as good as I look, which is to say not great. But Clone Wars content has been widely, not even speculated, more so, what's the word? What's the word we're talking about? It's been hinted at. And a lot of people are really interested in seeing what kind of Clone Wars content. And I think Arnold said that we could get he's thinking maybe a young Obi-Wan. I think that'd be cool and all. I'm not one to make predictions based on the login rewards, because I think the login rewards are mostly just thematic and not specific to characters. So instead of telling you what I think will happen, I'm instead going to tell you what I hope will happen. Right off the bat, I think one of the main things that CG is aware of, and the community is really, really, really hoping for, is Commandos. I never played, I don't even know if it was a VR game or what was it. There was like a clone Commando game that you played. I don't even remember what console it was on, that everyone loves. And of course, we got a couple of them kind of showing up in the Bad Batch on the last episode of Season 1. I don't even remember what all of their names are. Clone Commandos. Delta Squad, I believe. Yes. Oh, it's all coming back to me. So beautiful. I think that's one that CG has. I mean, not like in official areas, but just like on random Discord events and stuff like that over the last many years. It's something that they've at least kind of mentioned. So I would hope that if we do indeed get some Clone Wars content, that we get some sort of Commandos. I think you get an entire squad out of it. You could do 5 marquees. I mean, Capital Games, that sounds like a whole heck of a lot of money. Another thing as far as clones are concerned is, everyone knows my original prediction for the JMK kit prior to it being announced was that Clone Sergeant was going to turn orange. We were going to get Waxer and Boyle, and then he was going to rock the 212. And it was going to be kind of like Gas would have 501st, and then he would have his attack battalion, and it was going to be beautiful and fantastic. And while that didn't happen, maybe we get some sort of alternate version of Kenobi, like Arnold thinks, and we get the boys in orange, or maybe we just get them. We get Waxer, Boyle, Clone Sergeant turns orange, and we get one other guy. Actually, no, you would just rock Cody, right? That's 5, right? Cody 1, 2, 3. No, that'd be 4. And then we get some sort of other generic 212th. I would be totally fine with either 5 orange boys. I think that would be pretty awesome. Or a new sort of, Obi-Wan to lead them. An extra Obi-Wan might be a little bit rich for their blood. How many Obi-Wans do we even have in the game right now? We only have 3. 3 Obi-Wans is actually not a lot. See, the thing is, if there was ever going to be an Obi-Wan to lead the 212th, it would be this one. The problem is he's a tank. His kit has nothing to do with clones, and he's already kind of like a must on one of the many Galactic Republic teams. So we could maybe get a more offensive-focused GK. I think that would be... I think if we can get a Waxer Boyle, and they do some sort of Bo-Katan event where, there's a couple marquees and a couple of existing characters, call it R7, all of them. So you have to rock R7 Cody, who is not a requirement. R5 Cody is a requirement. R7 is not, I believe. You go R7 Cody, R7 Sergeant, R7 Waxer Boyle, and you use the 4 of them to unlock a new like Bo-Katan style Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think that could be a very interesting avenue to get a new Obi-Wan Kenobi in the game, and something that I would be 100% down for. Now, let's continue with the elephant in the room, of course, and that's the Separatists, and the fact that we have long been hoping for some sort of Separatist galactic legend. There's a lot of them, and Trench kind of booty cheeks. Some people have been long. This is these prior to Galactic Legends even being a thing. Have we predicted like a new Dooku where it's like a Tyrannus and he's super powerful and he pulls together all of the separatists. I would have to imagine that we end up getting like basically Trench, where Trench pulls in all of the other separatists that aren't being used elsewhere and just replaces his leadership. I actually don't know, to be perfectly honest, how useful Trench is outside of being the leader. This fit max gains. I mean, like, it's unique. Unique's okay. The Omicron sucks. It only has 2 abilities, a basic and a special, which is kind of ass cheeks. But if this is the case, I imagine we get other Separatist marquee characters as well. I know we have a chase leaked and stuff like that. Chases are usually to like wrap up things that already kind of like half exist. So I'm very curious to see what kind of event we'll have for the chase. I imagine it will either be a chase for one of the Bo-Katan characters, one of the Cal Kestis characters, one of the Leia characters, or a ship of some kind. But I would be more than happy, more than willing to accept a chase as a drop for a brand new marquee character to start off a faction. I think that'd be a pretty good way of getting people invested, because chase events are pretty easy to get and they're relatively free to play friendly depending on what your crystal situation is looking like. Won't be very good for me because I forgot to sign up for GAC, so I'll be missing out on 4,000 or 5,000 crystals or whatever I am, which is not exactly the greatest thing in the world. But I would still like to see it for everyone else who has the crystals on deck and did remember to sign up for GAC to be able to take the advantage of some sort of chase event starting off anew. Either, I mean, in order of what I'm most excited for versus what I'm least excited for, I would say Commandos is 1. I would say 212 is 2nd, and I would say some sort of Separatist Galactic Legend or Separatist, gas type of event would be pretty awesome as well. But it's definitely the runner-up to more of the Galactic Republic Clone Wars content. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is the Galactic Republic faction is fucking OP as hell, and they would have to probably put in some pretty creative side. Those little bars that you give kids when they go bowling to prevent them from throwing it in the gutter? It'd probably have to be that. There'd probably have to be some specific call-outs to make sure that, if it's Galactic Republic Jedi, we don't have like a super steezed Qui-Gon Jinn team, especially because we already have Keller and Beck that makes that team better. We'd have to make sure they don't go with gas. I mean, that wouldn't work. They're firing first. We'd make sure that they don't make JMK OP, or if Padme becomes unstoppable. I don't know. I think if they're going to drop a brand new team, they're going to want to make it just like Bad Batch, where you want to use that team specifically to make, lore sense, yes, but also just prevent people from doing some weird hodgepodge Galactic Republic nonsense, which would be a little annoying. All right. Back to working 20 hours a day and sleeping for 4. So thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I love you, and I'll see you later.